Broadcasting live from Cedarburg High School, it's your Cedarburg Bulldogs live on Spreaker.com as the boys basketball team gets set to play host to the Brookfield East Spartans here at Cedarburg High School. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Baxter Colburn.
And I am Grant Coppersmith.
Good evening to you, Grant Coppersmith. A 7-1 Bulldogs team getting set to play host to a 3-4 Spartans team. Now, it's interesting when you look at these two teams, Grant. The Bulldogs, they were on a 7-game win streak. They had it finally snapped at the very surprising hand, some might say, of Wausau West, 57-54 just a couple of days ago. But we've seen the Cedarburg team really roll through opponents this season. Is that loss going to affect them at all going into tonight's game?
Well, you never know. These are high school age boys. You don't know how well they are mentally prepared. But if you want to make a push into the into the finals, you're going to have some tenacity. You're going to face some adversity. You're going to go down. There's not going to be a time in any basketball game when you're not down at least by some point throughout the entire season. So they're going to have to find the ability to push past this. You can't have one loss affect your entire season.
You're absolutely right about that. The Bulldogs are 3-0 in the North Shore Conference. They're the only undefeated team as well. That's the likes of Germantown, Grafton, Homestead, among many other very talented programs. This is a non-conference game tonight, so the implications are a little different. You're fighting more so for your overall record. You're getting an opportunity to face a team that, playoff permitting, you may see again, but realistically, this is probably going to be the only time these two teams have to deal with each other all season long.
Right. But so, with that in mind, you can't slack at all, even though it's like, these are going to be the last time we play, and it's not going to go for our conference record. Still, overall record does count towards something in the long run, even if. And just mentally, we were talking about for Cedarburg, if they come out with another loss, how much of a big mental hit is that going to take, even though it doesn't really count towards your conference
Exactly,
record?
Yeah, and that's, I think, one thing that we're going to have to take a look at tonight as well. Cedarburg, they lost that first game. Usually when a team loses that first game of the season, it can really either make or break you. And I want to know how Cedarburg responds tonight. They've got two guys on their team, Jordan Johnson and John Diener, who average over 20 points a game. You'd like to think those guys are going to get into a role pretty early on and not really look back. But on the same time, the Spartans, though, they've got a couple of good guys as well, too. Patrick Cartier and Jay Korath, those guys, average 15 and 16 points per game as well, too. So the Spartans, even though they're 3-4, they've got guys that can put the ball in the net.
Yeah, and that's what they have to keep in mind as they're going throughout this game, even though they're down throughout this season. They have proven that they can put points together. If you want to look back, their last win, they won 85-55, so they can beat teams. They can put points on the board. It just when they can do that consistently.
You're exactly right. Yeah, and on the same token there, too, for Cedarburg, aside from that loss to Wausau West, they went and beat a very good Wisconsin Lutheran team 78-71, and then we all heard that 80-47 thrashing that they put on Port Washington before the Christmas holidays. So a tale of two different teams, but both teams hold the dominant powers that can really propel you to victory. And we'll take a look and see how those two teams fare. When we're going to take a break, when we come back, it will be time for the starting lineups and for the tip-off as well. You're listening to Cedarburg High School Athletics live on Spreaker.com. Stay with us. Welcome back to Spreaker.com here on the Cedarburg High School Athletics broadcast. Back inside the broadcast booth, I'm Baxter Colburn. Alongside Grant Coppersmith. Hey, Grant Coppersmith. Welcome back, sir. How are we doing?
I was listening to the starting line.
No problem. That is a good segue, though, Grant. Why don't you walk us through the Cedarburg starting five tonight?
Well, we have John Diener, number 3, number 5, Jordan Johnson, number 11, Jared Short, number 21, Matthew Barber, and I did not get the last one, number 24, Clayne Van Tassel.
And over for the Brookfield East Spartans, you got number 10, Sam McGath, number 13, Thomas Franken, number 21, Riley Letourneau, number 24, Jake Graff, and number 44, Patrick Cartier. The Spartans will be in all blue with white trim. The Bulldogs in all white with black. Spartans win the opening tip-off. They will go from right to left. Ball in the hands of Franken as he moves up the court. Now he's passing it off to number 21, Riley Letourneau. Letourneau, top of the key, goes to the far right side. Coming back to the middle. Back to Sam McGath. McGath underneath the Graff. Ball off the hands of Cartier, out of bounds. Bulldogs get the ball.
That was a very good aggressive man-on-man defense that Cedarburg has put on so far.
The Bulldogs will inbound. Spartans will send up a man to play a little bit of press coverage to give Jared Short some issues as he works his way up the court. Short across the halfway line. Still scoreless. Ball in the hands of Jordan Johnson now. Back to John Diener. Top of the key, working hard at the center of the court. Out wide to Matt Barber. Now Diener on the far side. Just outside the three-point arc, back into Matt Barber in the central part of the court. Looking for an opening. Now he finds Johnson. Johnson lays it off to Short. Quick little ball back to Johnson. Johnson thought about driving the lane, pulls it back outside. Now goes to Diener, far left corner. Back inside now, inside the key to Short. Short swings it out wide to Van Tassel. Fakes the shot, now drives the lane. Open layup, misses it off the rim. Rebound made. Barber's got it down low. He goes, lays up left hand, and in! Matt Barber gets the first points of the game on a nice little left-handed layup in traffic.
Now, you can't be mad at Brookfield East for letting those 2 points go in because that was a very well-contested
They did everything
ball.
they could.
Yeah, really.
Spartans now back on the offensive side. They trailed 2-0 with 16:37 to play here in the first half. Letourneau, near side, has the ball threaded underneath the Cartier. Knocked away. Jared Short's got the rebound. Now they go back up the court. Jordan Johnson with it on the far side of the court. Hands it off to Diener, who backs it off to the halfway line. Diener coming to the near side, finds Barber. Barber has his ball to Van Tassel. Tipped out of bounds by McGath. Bulldogs will hold on to possession.
So far, a very evenly contested game right now. There's not one team really making any mistakes right now that's giving the other an advantage.
Short will inbound to Johnson on the near side in front of the away bench. Johnson surveys his options, come back to the middle of the court, goes to the top of the key, now strays to the right a little bit. Tries to throw underneath to Short, and a foul called on the Spartans. Looks like Letourneau is going to be the guilty party.
Brookfield East foul number 21, Riley Letourneau.
That'll be his first foul. The Bulldogs will take the inbound pass underneath the basket of the Spartans. Short gets the inbound pass, hard drive in the lane, tries to go to the spin around, doesn't have an option, double team, gets the ball out to Barber on the near side. Play continues for the Bulldogs. Short now looks, drives the right side of the lane, has an opening, and in! Jared Short! The lane parted like the Red Sea, not only for Short, but we saw Barber on that last time down the court as well. 4-0 Bulldogs lead, 15-40. Here comes the layup from Cartier. It doesn't fall. He gets the rebound, and a foul called. Was it Diener or Barber? They were both next to him. We'll see who the guilty party is.
I think it's going to be on Barber.
It is. Matt Barber will go into the book for the first time tonight. So we're going to see a shooting foul. Patrick Cartier will step to the line to shoot. He's a 61% shooter. From the free throw line, he starts 0 of 1 tonight. Substitution now for the Spartans. Number 22, Peyton Simon will step in. 7.2 point per game player. Second shot for Cartier. Looking to go 1 for 2 if he can. And he misses the second one as well. Rebound made by John Diener. Quickly back up the court for the Bulldogs. Diener at the free throw line. Tries to drive the lane. Foul called. And that's going to go against Brookfield East. Jake Graff.
Foul number 24, Jake Graff. That's his first and the second.
So far, Brookfield East has done a pretty good job of keeping John Dieter and Jordan Johnson in check. Even though it's very early in the game, they haven't really gotten anything going.
Diener will take the inbound pass after almost running out of time. Goes to Jared Short way back towards the halfway line. Now he gets the pass back from Short. He drives on the near side across the three-point line. Fadeaway jumper at the free throw line. Rattles out, no good. Short gets the rebound. He'll take it back outside to the three-point arc. Tries to find Barber on the near side. Barber, baseline, jumper, got it! Matt Barber's got 4 points. It's 6-0 Cedarburg with 15:05 to play in the first half. Spartans now looking for a possible answer, trailing 6-0. Latorno, near side, goes to the far side now, switching play with Franken. Franken to Latorno, back to McGath. Spartans getting good ball movement inside the final third. Have not been able to put together a shot look, though. Franken, back out to Simon. Latorno at the baseline now, finds Franken. Three-pointer for Latorno, off the rim, no good. Rebound made Diener. Spartans caught on the counterattack. Jordan Johnson back the other way for a three-point basket. Jordan Johnson, his first impact of the game, results in a three-pointer. It's 9-0. We'll take a timeout as the Spartans take a timeout. 9-0 Cedarburg. They lead with 14:20 to play in the first half. You're listening to Cedarburg High School Athletics live on Spreaker.com. Welcome back to Cedarburg High School. Your Bulldogs lead 9-0 with 14:20 to play here in the first half. Welcome back inside the booth. I'm Baxter Colburn.
And I'm Grant Coppersmith.
All right, Grant Coppersmith. A surprising 9-0 lead for the Bulldogs to start the game. How do you feel about that?
Yes, it's a big deficit to start off the game, but it's not a bad performance by Brookfield East. It's just they can't get anything going offensively because Cedarburg is just putting on a suffocating man-on-man defense right now.
Spartans have an opportunity to get their first points of the game. Here comes the pass, kicked out wide for a three-point attempt, and it is in! Sam McGath with the first points of the evening for the Spartans.
And as soon as I say that, they switch to zone.
There you go. 9-3 our score. Bulldogs lead. Mitchell Strobel's into the ball game now. He replaces Jordan Johnson. John Diener receives the ball on the near side. He works his way outside the three-point arc. Goes to the free throw line. Jumper off the rim. No good. Rebound made by the Spartans. First man there is Graff. Graff looks to drive the right side of the lane. Now kicks it back out. Then receives his pass right back. Back to the near side is Cartier. Graff. Three-pointer off the pass. No good. Rebound made Diener. Bulldogs up the court on the far side. Here comes a nice little pass underneath. Jared Short in between two players. Fouled in the act of shooting. Short had a quick lane to get through, and he got there, but then hesitated, thus resulting in the foul. So Short's going to go to the line to shoot two.
Yeah, I would have. I wasn't in his position, but he had a lane and the space to be able to go right up with that layup right after he got the ball.
I don't understand that sometimes when you see a player on a fast break, take that extra bounce, not bounce pass, but that bounce step to set themselves up. It's like if you're already traveling in the air, just complete the play,
right.
Just shoot the ball. Short goes 1 for 2 at the line.
I think he might have been thinking that there was another player behind him and just misjudged it, possibly.
Possibly. 10-3 our score. 13-14 to play in the first half. Bulldogs lead by 7 in this non-conference matchup. Graff near side has the ball punched out of bounds. John Diener playing suffocating defense on the home side.
Into the Brookfield East lineup, number 20, Michael Poker.
Substitution now for Brookfield East, number 20, Michael Poker. A 5-point per game shooter. Pass will come on the near side. Poker doing the inbounding. He finds Graff right off the bat. Graff out wide. Latorno. Over to Simon. Back to Graff, left side, drives, three-point line, jumper just inside the free throw line, off the rim, no good. Rebound made, John Diener. Back the other way come the Bulldogs on the offensive side of the ball. Diener trying to work his way through, foul called on Diener. Offensive foul. Don't see that too often.
No, but there definitely was an arm extension. There was a push-off. But I want to say about Brookfield East, they did do a really good job coming out of that timeout, getting the three-point shot, but that didn't bother Cedarburg at all because they just came back, put the free throws up on the board, and still their defense right now is the key of the game so far because Brookfield can't get anything going right now.
12:37 to play here in the first half. And a foul called underneath the hoop. Looks like it's going to be Sam Talmadge, the man who just checked in the ball game. Correction, it's going to be against Jared Short. He was a little handsy with Sam Talmadge. Clay Van Tassel is going to check out of the game now as we see Jordan Johnson step back in. Clay Van Tassel very pedestrian there in that first about 6 minutes of action on the court. Didn't really see him touch the ball very often. Foul called on the inbounds pass. It's going to go against the Spartans. 44, Patrick Cartier, his first foul of the evening. Interesting. The Bulldogs give up a foul, then they concede one right after that. Inbound pass now for the Bulldogs as they escape the full court press for the moment. Jordan Johnson working his way up across the halfway line with some fancy ball movement. Steps back after the three-point arc. Comes to the near side, Jared Short under heavy pressure. Now finds Diener top of the key. Over to Johnson, near side. Johnson, step back at the baseline. Good! 2-point basket for Jordan Johnson. He's got 5 on the evening.
Yeah, and he seems keyed in. That was a really good layback jumper, and that was a real. He had the three-pointer earlier. He just seems really locked in right now.
Sam Talmadge on the near side goes over to the top of the key. Spartans trying to work it around. Nice little pass in traffic. Ball rolling off the rim. No good from Cartier. Matt Barber pulls down the loose ball. 11:47 to play in the first half. Bulldogs lead 12-3. They've led the entire game. They've led as much as 9-0 to start off the game. Jared Short trying to drive to the baseline. Foul called on Cartier. Second foul on him already. Cartier, one of the 2 leading scorers. I've seen him do virtually nothing so far to start the game.
Yeah, and he is the tallest guy out on the floor for Brookfield East, and after that there's not too many people that can compete with the rest of Cedarburg's height, and with already 2 fouls this early in the game, he's going to have to watch it.
Patrick McKenzie's going to step into the game now for the Bulldogs. He'll get the inbound pass back at the halfway line from Jordan Johnson. Now he finds Johnson on the inbound pass, or the return pass rather. Diener receiving the ball now to Barber. To Strobel. Now here comes McKenzie trying to drive the lane. Goes up, has his ball knocked away. Ball still free. Out of bounds. And the Bulldogs will hold on to possession. Sam McGath was there, but he couldn't hold on to it.
Patrick McKenzie did a really good job entering this game and was pretty explosive driving the basket and forcing the foul.
Sometimes you don't necessarily know how substitutions are going to be able to impact the game. Here's a nice inbound pass. Johnson for 3. Rims out, no good. Strobel's there for the rebound. Fighting underneath it. Ball still free. Spartans recover. And they will work their way up the court, evading those points potentially scored. 11:08 to play. Graff has a foul called, but on Tom Diener, it looks like. Pardon me, not the coach. His son, John.
Bulldogs foul number 10, Mitchell Strobel.
Oh no, Mitchell Strobel apparently. Diener looked like the frustrated one of the 2, but not apparently the case.
That'd be interesting if Tom Diener got a foul.
He's done some crazy things in his tenure, so who knows. Patrick McKenzie's going to come out of the game for Van Tassel. Spartans hold on to the ball. Johnson intercepts the ball without even trying. Just kind of hit his hand as he was just trying to play defense. And he gets the ball back and earns a foul for the Spartans. Franken's going to go into the book. 6 fouls now for the Spartans to the Bulldogs 4 with 11:01 to play here in the first half.
And right now Jordan Johnson is doing it all on both sides of the court, so let's see if he can stay that way.
Johnson leads all Bulldog scorers with 5 points. Look at that. John Diener still yet to get into the scorebook. Johnson Three-pointer near side, off the rim, no good. Rebound up for grabs, but the Spartans pull it down. It's McGath that holds on to it. Back the other way quickly is Brookfield East on the counterattack. Here comes Graff. Three-pointer off, and it is good.
3 points for Jake Groff.
Jake Graff, man that averages 16 points a game, rightfully so. 12-6 our score. Here comes Mitchell Strobel trying to drive the lane. Has his bit of a body check, but the ref says no thank you and plays on. Ball falls free over to Brookfield East.
Yeah, an interesting call. You normally see something like that getting called a foul.
Spartans now back on the offensive side, going from right to left to Poker. Top of the key now Graff. Drives the left side, now steps back. Poker back to Graff. Quick three-point shot is good.
3 points for
Jake Graff. He's got 6 points after being relatively quiet for the first 9 minutes of the ballgame. Van Tassel near side in front of the away bench. Trying to find a lane. Trips as he goes in and has a foul called against the Spartans. I thought he tripped over himself, but he'll get the foul called against McGath, his second.
One time you think it's a foul, one time you think it's not,
Is that a makeup call, I wonder?
Who knows?
Sometimes the refs see a totally different game than we see.
But if Jake Groff can continue this three-point performance, he's already put his team back in the game. So that's going to be something that Cedarburg is going to need to keep in check, even though they really haven't been giving him open looks except the first one, but the second one was contested, so they're going to have to do something about that.
Van Tassel at the line, starting 1 for 1. Peyton Simon's going to step into the game now for the Spartans. Bulldogs will make a change. Matt Barber will sit down. He'll make way for Hunter Lewis. Van Tassel at the line looking to make it 14-9. Bulldogs have led the entire game. And Van Tassel misses the second. Rebound almost made by Lewis. Back the other way now. Here comes Groff on the near side. Back over to Simon. Or Poker, rather. Simon Poker. Here comes a layup up to the hoop. And a foul called on Letourneau. He's going to go to the line to shoot 2.
Bulldogs foul number 15.
Looks like it's going to be against Hunter Lewis, his first foul.
At the line for Brookfield East, number 21.
Riley Letourneau, a 100% shooter at the free throw line this season, misses his first one. You're welcome, Bulldog fans. Curse of the commentator.
Always
Got to keep saying things. Now that you said that Groff is doing a great job, he's probably going to break his ankle. No, I hope not. That'd be awful.
But I wouldn't be surprised. That thing normally does happen.
That's true. Second basket is good from Letourneau. He's got 1 point on the evening. 100% shooting percentage is shattered. Here comes Diener. Deep three off the rim. No good. Rebound made by Short. And a putback. Good play. Jared Short there to clean it up. He's got 5. 15-10. Cedarburg leads with 9:13 to go. And a foul called on the Spartans on the offensive side of the ball. It's going to be on 13, Thomas Franken, his second.
Now Jared Short is starting to step up for what John Diener is failing to do on the court. John Diener has yet to get on the scoreboard, and he already has 1 foul. Jared Short already has 5 points in the game.
Jordan Johnson also has 5. Matt Barber has 4. Clay Van Tassel has 1. Victor Novi steps into the game. He'll allow Matt Barber to sit down and take a bit of a rest. Van Tassel on the offensive side of the ball. Short. Three-pointer off the rim, no good. He didn't really look confident about that. He was surprised how well the sea just kind of parted for him from the three-point arc, and he decided to take the shot. But
I like that he did take the shot because he was very wide open.
Three-pointer off the other way for the Spartans is good. Back the other way, it's Peyton Simon. Aside from 1 free throw, the Spartans have not scored from inside the three-point arc tonight. It's incredible. It's 15-13. Ball intercepted at the halfway line. Now going for the layup. Ball is knocked away. Good play there by Novi. Second attempt off the rim. No good from Simon. Rebound made by Novi. He makes up for the bad play at the half-court line. Ball tipped away. Short gets it. Now Johnson for 3. Yes! Jordan Johnson. He's got 8. The Bulldogs lead by 5 with 8:13 to go.
Just a three-point party in Cedarburg tonight.
Steph Curry must have done a clinic this week because this building is on fire. Spartans to Groff. Three-pointer. Why not? Jake Groff, he's got 9. All 3-pointers.
The defender was late on coming over, and he made him pay for it.
John Diener, you can see it in his eyes. He wants to get involved in this party, but he also needs to maybe accept his role at times, too, when you're one of the leading scorers. Here comes Johnson, weaving his way through the entire team for the layup. He's got 10 points in a hurry. 2016, Cedarburg leads with 7:35 to go.
I'm just getting tired watching this game right now.
My goodness, we're not even playing, and we're just already tired out. I need to call a full timeout to relax here. Holy cow. Johnson nearly stealing the ball away. Diener, he steals it away at the halfway line. 2-on-2 opportunity for Diener. Kicks it wide. Johnson contested. 3 off the rim, no good. Novi gets the rebound, but a foul called on the Bulldogs. It's going to be on Novi. His first foul, a whole ball foul. Barber's going to come back in and sit Novi down. Just looked like 2 guys going for the ball on the near side, but the official saw something else, Grant.
I didn't see it, but a lot of Brookfield East fans saw it.
And they made their voices heard, that's for sure. You probably heard the oh, there in the background. Spartans quickly back the other way. They are trailing by 4. They've got plenty of time to get back in this game. Talmadge on the left side of the 3-point arc finds Groff, who steps back at the halfway line. Nice little back behind move. Comes to the near side, finds Simon. 3-point attempt is no good. Diener on the rebound. Diener quickly up the near side, drives the lane, goes through 2. Jump shot off the rim, no good. He can't get a basket to fall here in the first half. Kick back out to Johnson. To Diener, quick little pass to Van Tassel. Drives the lane, off the rim, no good. Short can't get there for the rebound. Foul called on Jared Short, I do believe.
Yeah, you can see that John Diener, is rather frustrated. And he did take one ill-advised shot, but what I do like seeing is he's not trying to shoot every time he has the ball. He is trying to make some good decisions. Like he passed over to, I believe it was Van Tassel out on the outside instead of taking a shot, even though he did have some space. He gave it to his teammate that had a little more space.
Peyton Simon's going to go to the line to shoot 1-and-1. He makes the first. He's got 4 points on the evening. Jared Short's going to have a seat. He's going to be replaced by Mitchell Strobel. Good sized crowd here tonight, too, from this Brookfield Cedarburg fans. Second shot is no good from Simon. He goes 1 for 2. It's 20-17. Cedarburg leads. Foul called underneath the hoop. I believe it's going to be Michael Poker.
I'm not exactly quite sure what happened. Looks like there was a hold.
Yeah, Poker's going to go into the book. That's his first foul. Jordan Johnson's going to go to the line. That's 9 fouls for the Spartans here in the first half. 7 for the Bulldogs. We still have almost 6.5 minutes to play. Johnson drains the first one, showing why he shoots 91% from the line this year. So interesting to see a game this late, if you want to call it late, not have any stats for John Diener. Johnson goes 2 for 2 at the line.
You'd imagine that he'd have a bucket or 2 by now.
22-17, Cedarburg leads. 6:22 to play in the first half. Bulldogs 7-1 overall in the season, hosting the 3-4 Brookfield East Spartans. Spartans looking for a nice little move here. Little hook shot, doesn't fall. Peyton Simon went up for that ball. Rebound made by Clay Van Tassel. Up the other way now for the Bulldogs is Van Tassel. Now finds Strobel on the reset. Barber on the far side, just inside the 3-point arc. Trying to back his way down. Double team, kicks it out Strobel. Thought about a 3. Now he strips as he goes. Has it stolen away by Groff. Groff back up the court, goes for the layup. Good from Groff. He scores his first non-3-point basket of the evening.
The first team's non-3-point basket.
Kind of crazy to think about. 22-19 our score. Patrick McKenzie getting ready to check into the ball game for the Bulldogs. Think he might pull Strobel at this point. Johnson in the lane, back down, fadeaway, jumper off the rim, no good. Rebound made by Simon. Kicked out wide the Spartans. Here comes a deep 3-point look off the rim, no good. Falls off of Johnson. Talmadge couldn't make the 3 fall. Bulldogs will hold on possession. I would have tied the game had Talmadge been able to put that in. Bulldogs have led since the beginning of the game. They led by as many as 9. Now their lead is cut to 3 with 5 minutes to play in the first half. Van Tassel, hard hustle through the rim, can't get it off the backboard. Rebound made by Brookfield East. Groff with it in hand. Across the halfway line, Van Tassel playing hard ball and gets whistled for the foul on the reach-in.
Yeah, he got frustrated because he thought he got fouled when he went up for the short jumper. Then he just came back frustrated on that foul.
Strobel's going to step out of the game for Patrick McKenzie. Groff is going to go to the line to shoot 2. Or 1 and 1, rather. Groff makes the first one. 76% shooter at the line this season. Game is down to 2 points for the lead for the Bulldogs.
Good response by Brookfield East after being down 9-0 at the beginning of the game and getting no offense whatsoever at the beginning.
Groff makes it a 1-point game. He's had himself a good one. He's got 13 points already. 22-21 Cedarburg leads. 4:40 to play in the first half. Johnson, nice little spin move at the baseline on the left side of the lane. Lays it up and in for another 2-point basket. 24-21. Groff for the Spartans, back the other way. They come near side. Hands off to Talmadge. Talmadge working in front of the Bulldogs bench. Almost has the ball tipped away. Finds Groff at the top of the key. Tries to drive the left side of the lane. Under heavy pressure. Diener applying good pressure on Simon. Spartans now looking for another option. They find Talmadge back to the top of the key. They swing it wide. They find Poker. Poker steps back. Takes a moment to reset. Finds Latorno. Back to Talmadge. Right at the top of the key. McKenzie playing good defense. Ball stripped away by Johnson. He can't keep it in bounds. He read the play well, but just, I think, got a little excited by the fact that he intercepted the ball so well.
Well, he made a really good play, and that was a long offensive attack by the Spartans, but a really good job by Cedarburg. They were playing man-on-man. There was a lot of good switching going on. A lot of good passing by Brookfield East, too, so a really good possession right there.
3:47 to play in the first half. Cedarburg leads 24-21. We're going to get a timeout on the court. We'll step aside as well. 24-21. Cedarburg leads over the Brookfield East Spartans. Back with more on Spreaker.com after this. Welcome back to Cedarburg High School. 24-21 Bulldogs lead with 3:44 to go in the first half. I'm Baxter Colburn.
And I'm Grant Coppersmith.
Spartans will get the ball after the timeout. They work from right to left in the hands of Jake Groff, who's been fantastic tonight. He leads all Spartan scorers with 13 points. Spartans now looking for an answer. They've trailed the entire game by as much as 9 points at one point. Groff, left side. Sticks it out wide to Talmadge. Poker over to Simon. Simon on the far elbow. Now goes back to the top of the key, looking for an option, and a foul is called underneath the hoop. Patrick McKenzie, I think, is the guilty party.
That was a tough foul there. I think he just got caught by the pick, but the ref thought it was a push, and it was just kind of a tough break there.
So Sam Talmadge is going to go to the line to shoot at the free throw line. A 1-and-1 opportunity. He's 100% from the line this season. Makes the first one. 3:04 to go. It's a 2-point game in favor of the Bulldogs. They're first in the North Shore Conference with a 3-0 conference record. Meanwhile, the Spartans, 1-2 in the Greater Metro, they find themselves in 6th place. Second free throw attempt is good from Talmadge, his first points of the night. It's a 1-point game. Johnson up the court now for the Bulldogs, kicks it wide. Barber sets himself. Three-pointer off the rim, no good. I thought that was going in, but the rim had other ideas. Spartans would love to take the lead for the first time before the halftime break if they can. They might get it on the three-pointer, and they do from Peyton Simon. Simon's got 7 points on the evening.
Yeah, and he's come off the bench. He's done a really good job getting those 7 points for his team.
Shot back the other way. It falls in. John Diener cashes in for a 2-point basket. His first of the evening is 26 all with 2:20 to play. And a foul called on the Bulldogs. Looks like it's going to be against Patrick McKenzie again. He hasn't been in the game incredibly long, but he's already got 2 fouls.
He has played a very aggressive game, however, on defense. I've been watching him. And on offense, he's doing a really good job moving around, not kind of planting his feet, even though he has come off the bench. He's done a really good job staying warm and hyped.
Michael Poker misses his first free throw. Mitchell Strobel is going to come back into the game. He'll have McKenzie sit down. He'll get a word in with Tom Diener on the sidelines. Poker going for his second free throw. Rattles that one down for his first point of the evening. Brookfield takes a 1-point lead with 2:14 to play in the first half. They lead 27-26. Here comes Diener. Left side, three-pointer! John Diener's got an answer for you. He says, I'm still here, guys. Don't forget about me. Lead goes back to the Bulldogs, 29-27. Little under 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Nice little drive shot off the rim, no good from Latorno. Rebound made by Diener. Quickly back the other way. Layup, no good. But a foul called on Diener. A charge, I do believe.
Yeah, but it was good by him, even though he did get a foul. It's nice aggressive play and the quick 5 points that he got. And just like you said, he's still here.
So the Spartans will look to tie the game, if not retake the lead, with 1:40 to go in the first half. Cedarburg has led for a vast majority of the first half, leading by as many as 9 points. They were up to a 9-0 lead to start the game. Spartans working the ball quickly outside the three-point arc. Talmadge at the top of the key. Slicks it out wide to Laterno. Now over to Poker. Poker still far side, comes back to the middle of the court to Talmadge. Now Groff, he's been quiet the last couple of minutes. Tries to go with the crossover, and a foul is called off the ball. It's a Bulldogs player going into the book. It's going to be Matt Barber, his second foul of the evening. You can tell the Bulldog players are a little frustrated. So is Tom Diener. He just wants to get this team to halftime and calm them down before any damage is really done.
Yeah, some questionable calls that they don't think the ref should be calling, but, you know, that's the way the game goes.
Talmadge is at the line. He converts on his first. He's 3 for 3 on the evening. Talmadge, a 100% shooter, misses his first one of the evening, 3 for 4.
You got to stop doing
Ball
that.
falls back out to Groff. He can't make the three-point fall. Now Diener gets the rebound. Quickly back up the court. Johnson goes for the layup, misses. Groff plays good defense. Ball free. Spartans recover. They get back to possession with 57 seconds to go. Groff quickly back up the court, looking for an option, finds Peyton Simon. Back to the near side, swinging it to Laterno. Laterno in front of the home bench. Ball nearly intercepted. Groff, jumper, free throw line. Got it! Tie game at 29 all with 40 seconds to go. Diener calling out the play. Near side. Foul called. Basket will not count as the foul was called before he took the shot. It's going to be a 2-shot trip for Diener. Foul is going to get called on Jake Groff, his second foul. So Diener with an opportunity to regain the lead for his team as they trail 30-29. Diener misses the first, a very rare miss from John Diener, who shoots 94% from the free throw line.
At least you said that after he took the shot, because right now you're 2 for 2 on Jinx and 100% free throw shooters.
We'll see what happens here. Diener on the second one. Nails it. Tie ball game. Diener's got 6. 30 points for either team. 31 seconds to play here in the first half. A tightly contested game. I don't know if a lot of people thought it was going to be this close, but the fact of the matter is we've got a tight ball game. Groff gets it right at the top of the key. Van Tassel playing hard coverage on him. Mitchell Strobel will play defense now on Michael Poker, who takes it back to the halfway line. You can tell that the Spartans are looking to hold on to the ball for that last shot Now comes to Groff, now to Talmadge. Van Tassel almost got it away. Now Groff hails a prayer at the buzzer. No good. So we will go to halftime, tied at 30 apiece. What an intriguing ball game. We thought Cedarburg was going to run away with it to start the game, and then the Spartans fired back to tie the game at halftime. A very surprising first half, to say the least, Grant, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, and especially how it started out. Cedarburg came out charging, started the game off 9-0. Brookfield, like I said before, they couldn't get anything going on offense. Cedarburg had everything going for them. And then timeout called. It was a great timeout by head coach Joe Rux of Brookfield East Spartans, and then they just came out and slowly crawled their way back in the game. Really helped by Jake Groff and his 3-point shoot, 3 straight 3-pointers that really pulled them back into this game. So right now it is anybody's game, and who cares what the record is? So,
exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. I think Brookfield East is outplaying their record right now, which I think would make any coach happy. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we'll give you the first half stats and analysis. You're listening to Cedarburg High School Athletics live on Spreaker.com. Stay with us. Good evening and welcome back to Cedarburg High School. 30-30 our score here at halftime. We welcome you back inside the broadcast booth. I'm Baxter Colburn.
And I'm Grant Coppersmith.
Well, Grant Coppersmith, a first half full of surprises. A Cedarburg 9-0 lead to kick off the game. And then suddenly Brookfield East, a lion, a tiger, a Spartan awoke.
See what you did there.
In the form of Jake Groff. And a 13-point first half performance later, and we've got a tie ball game.
Well, but looking over at the other side of the ball, you have Jordan Johnson with 14 points. So, I mean, he's pulling his weight too. But you have to look over at Trey Groff of the Brookfield East Spartans, and you mentioned them playing better than their record states. And you're right, you do have to be happy as a coach if you do that. Maybe it's just question that maybe they don't deserve their 3-4 record. Maybe it's just that they played tough teams. And I said their last win, they beat the team that they played by 30 points. So they can stay competitive and play and put up big points.
You're absolutely right about that. It's been interesting to see when Groff hasn't been the one getting the ball, the players that have been stepping up. Sam Talmadge has been very busy tonight. He's only got 3 points, but he's been very instrumental in a lot of what the Spartans have been doing on the offensive side of the ball. Peyton Simon, he's quietly gotten 7 points. You mentioned it too right before the halftime break. He's come off the bench to score those 7 points. So Simon, I think, has been a very surprising, in a good way, addition for the Spartans in the first half. Looking on the other side, though, for the Bulldogs, it's been a surprising first half in a bad way, though, because John Diener, of all people, 6 points in the first half for him. It took him almost I think it took him about 3/4 of the entire first half to finally register his first basket. But that largely because the defense was so tight on him, and Jordan Johnson was just getting all the looks.
Right. And you do mention that he did score 6 points, but they were all within close proximity of each other, and they were at the tail end of the half. So you could argue that he's going to possibly come out at the top of the second half and put together a good performance. One key thing I do think that needs to happen is that the Cedarburg Bulldogs team is going to need to calm down, John Dieter and everybody included, because you saw a lot of hot players, a lot of frustrated players.
Foolish fouls.
Yes. And yes, maybe the calls they didn't think need to be happen, but they happen. So it's something like, okay, you know what? It happened. You got to get over it. You got to go play. And maybe it's the fact that, yeah, we're a 7-1 team. We're playing a 3-4 team, and we're tied going into the half. Maybe this shouldn't be happening, but you have to play above that standard and above that thinking.
You're absolutely correct. All right, with that, we are going to go to a second break. When we come back, we will get you ready for the second half. You're listening to Cedarburg High School Athletics live on Spreaker.com. Stay with us for more. Welcome back to Cedarburg High School. 30-30 our score here at the halftime break. I'm Baxter Colburn.
And I'm Grant Coppersmith.
Grant Coppersmith, before we head into the second half, what are some of the things you are looking for from both of these teams?
Well, one thing we've noticed in the first half is that, and you mentioned during the broadcast, was that Brookfield East, besides one 2-point basket and a couple free throws, the Spartans have scored all of their points from the three-point line. Now, you could argue that Brookfield East is doing a really good job shooting, but you could also argue that Cedarburg is doing a really good job locking down the post. So I think that is a big key going into the second half. Who can control the post on Brookfield East's offensive side of the
ball? I would agree with you on that one, too, because we've seen the Spartans drive the lane multiple times this evening, but just not be able to put the ball away. So we'll see if Cedarburg can keep that up. They will get the ball to start the second half. Wearing their all-whites, they will be going from right to left. Short, Van Tassel, Johnson, Diener, and Barber start on the court for the Bulldogs. Inbound pass finds Jordan Johnson, the man of 14 points in the first half. Ball comes near side to Diener in front of the home bench. Step back, three-pointer off the rim, no good from John Diener. We'll see how long it takes Diener to get back into his shooting ways. Here's another man, Groff, for the Spartans. He had himself a 15-point first half. Ball comes to the near side for Franken. Now to Cartier. It's been rather disappointing in the first half. No points registered. Groff, three-pointer, rim no good. Rebound made by Jared Short. 2-on-1 opportunity for the Bulldogs. Short dishes it off. Johnson goes up, layup, and good. And Johnson gets the tie broken just a couple seconds in. 32-30 our score.
And Bax, you mentioned it, Patrick Cartier. He hasn't registered a point at all this evening, and he averages 15.3 points a game.
Can I just say, Patrick Cartier sounds like one of the most hockey names I've ever heard. I feel like it should be like, Cartier across the blue line, Cartier scores! Like, I feel like...
You're not wrong.
I feel like, you know? I feel like I should be listening to like an ESPN like top 10 play like Patrick Cartier.
It's a good goalie name.
Yes! I was wondering, I'm like, what kind of a hockey name does he have? It's a goalie. Cartier, yeah, stick save, poked away. Okay, anyway, back to the basketball game. Cartier does have the ball, though, top of the key. As the Spartans offense looks to get back on the board. They trail by 2. Here comes the three-pointer falling away. Cartier gets the rebound, goes up, and lays it in for his first points of the ball game.
That's the reverse broadcast curse right there.
Yes, you talk them up in a totally different sport, then they start doing well in the sport that they are playing. Makes sense. Van Tassel on the near side goes out to the baseline. Left side, now over to the right is Short driving the lane. Foul called on Short, apparently. He can't believe it. I certainly can't either. That'll be Short's third foul.
Offensive foul, the Bulldogs, number 11, Jared Short.
And he's had a couple he has not agreed with tonight. And, I mean, I can't really disagree with him, but that's the way basketball does.
You don't want to crucify the official on every single call either, but at some point you do have to realize or wonder who actually is correct. Is it the player or the referee? And you ultimately have to accept the referee's decision.
And he was getting very upset at the end of the first half, so hopefully that doesn't affect him now.
Fast break opportunity here for the Bulldogs, stripped away as Johnson runs the court, lays it up and in, but a foul called. Was it before he took the shot? No, they're going to say the basket counts for Johnson. Who is the foul on? Looks like Riley Letourneau will go for his second foul this evening. Johnson at the line to complete the three-point play, and he misses. His first free throw of the evening. Score stays 34-32 with 15:48 to go in the game. Cedarburg with the lead, but barely. Groff on the near side, trying to get fancy with it, stripped away by Jared Short. Bulldogs back the other way quickly with numbers in their favor. Short lays it off. Diener flying in. Three-pointer! John Diener lighting it up. He's got 9.
Even though he hasn't been very loud tonight, you can't give him that much space at the top of the three-point arc.
Never.
Because he's going to find his groove sooner or later if you keep on doing that, and then he's going to be a problem.
Back the other way. Three-pointer from McGath is no good. Bulldogs look to extend the lead. They lead 37-32. Diener near side, driving the lane. Foul called on the way up to the basket. It's going to be against Brookfield East. It'll be against Thomas Franken, his third foul. Michael Poker is going to come into the game. He will replace Franken. Poker's got 1 point in the first half. Ball inbounded from short on the baseline to Diener on the near side, just inside the three-point arc. Diener being guarded heavily by Groff. Diener tries to go up the court, taken down hard, and a delayed foul called. And the Spartans are not happy about that. It's going to go against Groff, his third foul.
And I don't want to be picking on the officials this entire time, but I might agree with the Brookfield East fans.
It's a very delayed call.
Yeah, and it looked like he did trip over himself, but I mean, that's the way it goes.
Inbound pass finds Van Tassel, who finds Short on the near side. He goes underneath the hoop to Diener. Diener lays it in! 2-point basket, and Diener flashing into double digits quickly. He's got 11 total, and a timeout called on the court by the Spartans.
Now that's exactly what John Diener did at the end of the first half. He had a quick 3-point shot and then a 2-point shot, and that's exactly what he did at the beginning of the second half. So look for him to stay hot in this game.
Bulldogs lead by 7 with 14:49 to go, 39-32. Back with more on Spreaker.com right after this timeout. Welcome back to Cedarburg High School. 39-32, your Bulldogs holding on to the lead after being tied at 30 apiece at the halftime break. They have rattled off 9 points and have held the Spartans offense to just 2 with 14:49 to play in the ballgame. Welcome back inside the booth. I'm Baxter Colburn.
And I'm Grant Coppersmith.
Spartans will get the inbound pass after the timeout. Here comes Cartier underneath the hoop in between 3. He lays it in for his 4th point of the evening. Bulldogs back the other way quickly. Diener, no, yes.
No, yes.
No problem. Yes, he scores. That's what I was going for. No way. No how. But he scored. 41-34. Bulldogs lead. Groff, he's been quiet in the first half, or in the second half rather. Jump shot from him gets knocked away. Swung underneath from Simon back to Poker. Poker on the near side. Takes it back to the top of the key. Now finds Simon on the far left corner. Now goes to Groff. Groff at the free throw line. Runs into a little bit of a trap. Now kicks it back out wide. Poker top of the key. Over to McGath. McGath looking for options. Now here comes Poker driving the lane. Shot no good. Rebound made. Diener gets it away at the last moment. Up the court quickly now come the Bulldogs. Diener pull up 3-pointer off the rim. No good. Thought he may have rattled it down, but the rim did not agree with us on that one. 41-34, 13-36 to play in the ballgame. Groff near side in front of his bench. Has a foul called. It's going to go against the... it's going to go against the Spartans. Bulldogs will get possession. It's going to go against...
Brookfield foul. Check that. It is going to be Brookfield foul number 44,
Patrick Cartier is going to go into the book. A little confusion there between the officials and the players of who the guilty party was, but we got it sorted out. Cartier.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure what happened either there.
Had to take his face mask off from playing goalie on that last time down the ice. Can't use that to block a basketball.
Clearly.
Diener, near side, outside the three-point range at the baseline. Shot it in! A pretty little touch from Diener. Looks like he was just saving all his energy for the second half. His team leads 43-34 now. It's one thing to start the first half strong. It's a second thing to see how you fare in the second half. Deep three-pointer falling off the back of the glass from McGath. No good. Back the other way come the Bulldogs. This is where Cedarburg thrives as the second half surges. Johnson has his shot knocked away. No foul called. He's not happy about that. Neither is Coach Diener. He gives the referee a piece of his mind all the way down the court. They almost asked him to put a jersey on. He was that far down the court. Peyton Simon at the top of the key now for the Bulldogs, or rather for the Spartans, standing at the B in Bulldogs. Now Cartier, near side, drives the lane, kicks it back out to the top of the key. Deep three-point attempt off the rim, will not fall. That was Peyton Simon there. And a timeout called on the court by the Bulldogs, a full timeout. We will take a timeout as well. It's your Bulldogs 43 and the Spartans of Brookfield East 34. 12:20 to play. Back with more on Spreaker.com right after this. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. I'm Baxter Colburn.
And I'm Greg Coppersmith.
43-34, Bulldogs with the lead. It was 30-30 at halftime. No, not the ESPN special 30 for 30. It was a 30 for 30 tie ball game. And suddenly the Bulldogs offense erupted with 13 points.
Specifically, John Diener erupted.
9 points so far for John Diener in the second half. He's got 15 total on the evening. The big thing is Jake Graff has been silenced in the second half for Brookfield East so far. Will he continue? That's the real question. Bulldogs get the ball after the timeout. They've got 12-10 to play. Looking to go to their 8th win. Diener quickly in between two players up the court. Got the basket. Two-pointer there, 45-34, and the Bulldogs are starting to pull away. This is why games don't end at halftime, because things like this can take place. Three-pointer back the other way. Michael Poker. He got his first three-pointer of the evening. He's got 4 points. 45-37. When one man falls, another Spartan rises.
Just what happened at the beginning of the game. Brookfield East went down big and then came back.
Diener's first shot is no good. Van Tassel quickly there. Gets the rebound and puts it in. And a timeout on the floor. The Bulldogs will take the timeout. We'll stay here. The Bulldogs lead 47-37.
Now, Baxter, you said a little bit earlier that it really says a lot about a player if he can come out and have a really big second half after already playing a half of basketball. It's even more so if he did nothing, almost nothing, for the first half until about 5 minutes left in the first half. Then he came and put 6 points together. But to come out and as explosive as he did out of the half and make as big of a statement as he did, and right now he's really the big deal because he didn't really do much in the first half, and then it was tied. Now he's just coming out of nowhere, and now and Cedarburg's now up by 10.
And Diener has got 11 of the Bulldogs' 17 second-half points, so that's exactly to your point. Jordan Johnson has 3 of those. Van Tassel on that last play has 2 of them. The Bulldogs lead 47-37 with 11:26 to play. This will be a good tune-up before they take on conference rival Germantown on Friday evening. If you are in the Cedarburg area, definitely a game you're going to want to come out to. Three-pointer for the struggling Spartans comes from Latorno. He misses. Bulldogs back up the court. They have 11 minutes to play. Matt Barber near side in front of the home bench. Back over to Diener now. Diener resetting the offense. Comes to Van Tassel on the near side, just inside the three-point arc, finds Strobel now on the far left elbow. Strobel back to the top of the key, now finds Barber, quickly over to Van Tassel on the far side in front of the student section. Over to Barber, near side, now Strobel at the baseline. Nice little flashing play to Van Tassel, and a foul called. Van Tassel will go to the line to shoot 2. Foul is going to be against number 3, Sam Talmadge, his first foul of the evening. Thomas Franken's going to come into the game along with Jake Groff. We'll see if that extended time on the bench will do Groff good to get his Spartans team back in the game. Van Tassel will not shoot 2. They're saying it was not an active shooting foul. So Strobel will get the inbound pass from Short. Strobel goes up for the layup, has it knocked away at the last moment. Spartans back the other way quickly. Simon goes for the layup, kicks it out. Groff, 3, no! Rebound made by Diener. 3-on-2 opportunity. Diener slows it down. A very veteran play from Diener. Instead of running the court, he decided to pull it back, let his team reset, take more time off the clock. There is no play clock in high school basketball.
Right, and I think it was a good idea because the last 2 possessions and now 3 possessions by both these teams, there have been some really hard plays, so it's a good idea to slow everything down and cool people off.
Diener's shot no good. Rebound made by the Spartans. Here comes Cartier, top of the key, kicks it back out to a 3-point basket from Thomas Franken. 47-40 our score. Back to a 7-point game with 9:45 to play in the ball game. Short will inbound to Diener. Taking his time getting up the court. Groff waiting for him at the half-court line. Now backs off to give him a little bit more space. Short receives the pass. Now to Strobel. Strobel, one of those players, he doesn't score a lot of points, but he does get action in the game. Very physical player. Now Short. Nice little flash pass to Van Tassel. Leading for the basket. Just undershoots it, but because he had a guy hanging on him, draws the foul. Now he will go to the line. Thomas Franken, his 4th foul. So Van Tassel will go to the line to shoot 2. He's 1 for 2 on the evening. He's got 3 total points. Van Tassel rattles down the first one. A 50% shooter on the season. Jordan Johnson will come back into the game. He will have Strobel sit down. 48-40 scoreline for the Bulldogs. Now 49 as Van Tassel goes 2 for 2 on this trip. 3 for 4 on the evening from Van Tassel. Bulldogs lead is 9. Game clock reads 9:13. Cartier, top of the key. Working against Matt Barber. Doesn't have an open option. Now he relays it back to Poker. Poker moves back up the court. Now it falls to Groff. Groff 3-pointer. Good! Jake Groff gets his first points of the second half. He's got 18 on the evening. It's a 6-point game for the Bulldogs. 49-43. 8:44 to play in the game.
That was much needed if you're Brookfield. You were before that 3-point being down by 9 and your number 1 man not getting a shot in for the entire second half. That was desperately needed. Van Tassel on the offensive side of the ball for the Bulldogs now goes to Short, quickly over to Johnson. Johnson kicks it wide. Van Tassel now goes to the baseline to Barber. Barber has it knocked away. Spartans get the loose ball, and they go back up the court quickly. Groff zings it underneath the hoop, and a ball blocked away. Van Tassel there gets a hand on it, but a foul called as it looks like it was Franken who went up for the hoop. Well, that was a good foul by Van Tassel because it was really set up poorly defensively. Groff was able just to throw it into right under the basket, and there was just a wide open layup to be made. So you had to make that a foul to maybe hope for a missed free throw. Franken will go to the line. He's got 3 points total. He'll make it 4 as he converts his first free throw. Franken, a 68% shooter from the free throw this season, shooting 100% on the evening thus far. 5-point lead for Cedarburg. Now make that 4. 5 points for Franken. 4-point lead for the Bulldogs. 49-45. John Diener, far side of the court, outside the 3-point range, backs his way down, fighting his way through players, and a foul called on Diener as he was getting extra physical trying to work his way into the hoop. I completely agree with the officials on that. Right, Diener was being far too aggressive in the way he was entering the lane. Yeah, and he was just trying, to drive the lane, try to generate some offense because it's been sputtering the last couple of drives. But yeah, exactly what you said. It was really aggressive. Thomas Franken trying to get the offense for Brookfield East working again. Cartier has the ball poked away. He had his jersey. Oh, now a miscommunication in the backcourt. And a loose ball falls to Michael Poker, who puts it in for 2. 2-point game, 49-47. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but there was miscommunication there between Diener and Barber, I believe. And it ended in a free basket for the Spartans. Johnson working his way through the crowd. And a travel called as he took about 5 extra steps on his way to the hoop. Yeah, not quite the NBA level, just yet. Timeout called on the court by the Bulldogs. A full timeout. We'll take a timeout as well.
2-point game, a thrilling one here at the Cedarburg High School Athletic Complex. We'll be back with more with 7:38 to play live on Spreaker.com. Stay with us. Welcome back to Cedarburg High School. A 2-point game. Bulldogs lead over the Brookfield East Spartans, 49-47. Welcome back inside the booth. I'm Baxter Colburn.
And I'm Grant Coppersmith.
A chilly evening outside. A typical Wisconsin January, but a hot one inside here inside the Cedarburg High School Athletic Complex. John Diener in foul trouble with 3. Jared Short with 3 fouls. On the other side, Thomas Franken's got 4. Jake Graff, he's got 3. Patrick Cartier's got 3. We'll see how those key players are affected by the fouls late in the game with 7:36 to play. The Spartans take too long to get the inbound pass in, and they will turn over possession to the Bulldogs.
That's exactly what you needed coming out of the break for the Bulldogs. You had a huge lead, 10 points lead at one point, and now it's only 2. You really needed that change of possession and have some momentum start going your way.
Inbound pass from Diener comes all the way back to the backcourt for Short. Short goes to the top of the key, now finds Barber near side, now goes to Van Tassel, left corner. Quickly out to Short, over to Barber on the far side. Barber finds Diener. Diener tries to back his way in, now takes a jump shot and has it off the rim, no good, right around the free throw line. Rebound made now by Poker as he comes back up the court for the Spartans. To Groff, he's been wonderful tonight with 18. Cartier backs his way down, lays it out wide. Groff thought about a 3, now pulls it back out. Peyton Simon. Now over to Poker on the near side. Comes back to Simon. Groff. Baseline goes, lays it up. Off the backboard, no good. Groff gets his own rebound, but it's going to be a jump ball possession arrow favoring the Spartans.
Now back to that last shot by John Diener. He had an open player at the top of the key, but yet he decided to take the shot, which was very contested, and it ended up in him missing the basket. And we've seen that the last couple possessions from him, so I don't know what's going on, but he's trying baskets that are not quite there.
Groff, deep 3, no good, but it'll fall underneath the hoop. Shot going up from Franken, no good. Rebound made by Barber, his big frame ultimately winning the battle underneath the hoop. 6:27 to play in the game. Cedarburg 49, Brookfield East 47. Van Tassel with a nice move to the hoop. He misses the basket. He had an open layup, but just couldn't put it down.
You got to make those wide open layups. Those are 2 easy points you should have.
Spartans back the other way. Deep 3-pointer off the rim, no good. Rebound made by John Diener. Contested by Groff on the backcourt. Now works his way up across the halfway line. Diener trying to go coast to coast. Lays it up. And counting the basket. And 1.
And it was on Jake Groff, and he is livid. He thought that, one, it wasn't a foul. 2, he definitely didn't give the foul to John Diener while he was making the shot. He thought it was well before.
Groff has 4 fouls. One of those players you do not want to foul out if you are the Spartans. Diener completes the 3-point play. 2 for 3 on the night from the line for the 94% free throw shooter. 52-47 with 5:54 to play in the ballgame. Spartans have done really well from three-point range for most of the game. Let's see if they've got more left in them. Diener playing tight defense against Peyton Simon. Patrick Cartier, top of the key, finds Groff. Groff, little sling pass, finds Simon, near side. Simon outside the three-point range, now Groff. Groff thought about a drive, has it knocked away out of bounds. Spartans will hold on to possession. Jared Short with some fast hands took it away from Groff for a brief moment.
And even though Jared Short may not be the main focus of this team, he's been a really good leader and really good defensive player, even though he's not putting many points on the board.
Franken trying to drive the lane, has the ball knocked away, but a timeout call to save him. And it's going to be a full timeout, so we will take a timeout as well. 52-47 with 5:20 to go. It's been a thrilling game so far. What does the second part of the second half have in store for us? We'll find out right after this. You're listening to Cedarburg High School Athletics live on Spreaker.com. Welcome back to Cedarburg High School, 52-47. Your Bulldogs lead. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. I'm Baxter Colburn.
And I'm Grant Coppersmith.
Well, Grant Coppersmith, 5 minutes, 20 seconds standing between the Bulldogs and their 8th win of the season. What do they need to do to close this game out?
Well, right now what they need to do is they need to contain Jake Groff. They've done a pretty good job in the second half. And right now Jake Groff is really upset from the last foul he took. I saw it during the timeout. Coaches were over consoling him. He was really upset on the sideline. So I think that is their key right now.
Spartans will get the ball after the timeout. Thomas Franken on the U of Bulldogs at the center court. And a timeout. No, change of possession. Looks like the Spartans took too long in the with the ball and turnover of possession. I was looking down at my notes when the play was called, so I didn't get a chance to see what exactly took place there.
He was dribbling the ball and everything, didn't pick it up. There was no double dribble. Not quite sure.
Bulldogs have possession rather regardless. Under 5 minutes to play, they lead 52-47. Spartans looking to go to 4-4 on the season. Bulldogs looking to go to 8-1 before they take on Germantown on January 6th, and they travel to Nicolet on January 11th. Diener, left side of the three-point arc. Drives the lane on Groff, lays it up and in. Groff did all he could, but Diener just rose above and knocked it down.
And that was a good play for Diener. The last couple times he's had the ball, he hasn't made good decisions with it. That was a nice, clean layup for him, so good job.
Franken, near side, outside the three-point arc, goes to Groff. Groff over to Poker, and a foul called on John Diener, I believe. He looked frustrated. No, it's going to be against Matt Barber.
Bulldogs foul number 21.
Diener, I think, just frustrated by the call as a whole, I believe.
Back in the Brookfield East lineup with number 21, Riley Laterno.
Inbound pass now for the Spartans. Laterno will check into the game for Brookfield East. He receives the inbound pass on the far side of the court. Ball coming back to Poker. Cartier towering over most of the players on the court except for Barber. Here comes Groff. Fall away. Three. Got it. Jake Groff, only his 6th point of the second half. He's got 21 on the evening. It's a 4-point game.
Yeah, but that's huge because it makes it a 4-point game. It kind of brings them back into it because there was the Brookfield East kind of had a lower lower momentum, lower tempo. They weren't really feeling it, so that three-pointer really brings them back into it.
Jared Short with the ball at the halfway line. Now finds Johnson in front of the scorer's table. He hands it off to Barber. Barber back to Short. Now to Diener on the baseline. Diener lays it up off the basket. No good. Gets his own rebound. Fadeaway shot. Still no good. No foul called either, despite his best efforts. Franken for the Spartans back the other way. 3:20 to go. Franken zings it out wide. Three-pointer. Good! Riley Letourneau. His first points of the second half. We've got a one-point game. 54-53 with 3:06 to play.
And that's what Brookfield East needs to do. Riley Letourneau was had only in one free throw this entire game. Pretty quiet. And then all of a sudden, 3-point to bring them back into it.
Johnson back the other way, does a little nifty move to get to the hoop and score. It's now back to 3-point lead for the Bulldogs, 56-53. Johnson's had a quiet second half. He's only got 5 points. Jake Groff with the 2-point basket. 56-55. The crowd getting into this one, especially from the Brookfield East side where our broadcast booth is located. 2:24 to play in the game. This is going to be a tightly contested game all the way to the final buzzer. Johnson on the near side, now switching over to the far side. Stepping back to the halfway line, surveying his options. Finding Short. Short in front of the home section. Now to Johnson, top of the key, tries to drive the lane, left side, goes up, foul called. Ooh, that might be on Groff, and he might be done. Let's see who the guilty party is. Going to be on 21. Letourneau, his third foul. Groff dodging a bullet. He was there during the foul, and you can see the bench all taking heavy breaths, thinking that they thought Groff was done.
Yeah, he was one of the two, and it could have really gone either way.
Jordan Johnson rattles out the first free throw.
And you want all the points you can get this late in the game.
Second attempt is good.
So that was a big miss by him.
But they're going to say a lane violation on Barber, so the basket won't count. How interesting. So with 2:04 to play, the Bulldogs will only lead by 1 point. The drama, the sheer drama. And a foul called by the Bulldogs. Things are starting to turn in the Spartans' way. Jordan Johnson will be the guilty party, his first foul of the evening. Spartans will get possession under 2 minutes to play. They trail by 1. Groff, the man with the ball. Right at the top of the key, working on Jared Short. And Jared Short will be called on the foul.
I don't know anything.
I do not honestly know what the ref saw on that one, but that's his fourth foul for Short. I truly don't know what that was. I really don't.
He had the ball. That was an on-ball play, so we were both watching it. I didn't see anything either.
Franken will get the inbound pass for the Spartans. 1:43 to play. Cartier gets the ball, working on Barber. Left side layup, no good. But Cartier will go to the line to shoot two. Barber will be booked for another foul, his fourth of the evening.
Bulldog foul number 21, Matt Barber, his fourth.
Tom Diener looking down his bench. He's got the likes of Victor Novi, Hunter Lewis, Patrick McKenzie, and Mitchell Strobel. Possible contenders to go in. Cartier ties the game. 5 second half points, 5 total points on the evening, 56 all, 1:39 to go. Second free throw, no good. Rebound made by Barber. That's a big miss. John Diener near side, right in front of the home bench, hearing instructions from his father. Diener backs his way into the lane, now comes back out. Ball almost knocked away. Johnson fighting for it, and a foul called. Diener was going for the ball, Franken was going for the ball, and I think Franken is going to be called on the foul as the two players fell into the scorer's table, knocking off a panel. And the crowd is livid here at Cedarburg High School.
And that's a big foul. If it's on Franken, that means he's fouled out.
The referees are chatting with it at the half-court line to see if the foul is correct.
Now, if I'm going to be honest about it, I feel like there was the Cedarburg player that pushed Franken into the scorer's table, but we'll see what the call is.
If, like you said, Grant, if that is the case for Franken, that will be his 5th foul, and he will be done. They might say it's a no foul and waive it because both players are at fault.
And just say it went out of bounds.
Referees are chatting with Coach Rux of the Spartans. The Bulldogs looking like they're getting ready to inbound the ball. Franken's still on the court playing defense.
These Brookfield East fans are not very happy right now. They were standing up, shouting, trying to do something, not quite sure what's going on.
So it looks like there's going to be no foul. Play's going to resume. We're going to have a wild minute 23 to play. We're tied at 56 all. It's anybody's game at this point. Matt Barber with the ball on the near side goes to John Diener. Just outside the three-point arc, being worked on hard by Graf. Three-pointer. Diener rattles out. Van Tassel gets the rebound. They hold on to possession with a minute 5 to play. Barber gets the ball, now steps back outside the top of the key. Goes underneath for short. Ball loose on the court. Rebound made. Spartans got the ball. 58 seconds to go. Jake Graf across the halfway line finds short. Now over to Poker. Three-pointer. Graf, no good. That one will go almost out of bounds. Cardia gets the rebound. Ball free. Foul called as Letourneau is fouled in the act of shooting. 42 seconds to play. Patrick Cartier going up big and whipping that ball back into the field of play. I did not hear who the foul was on, did you?
On Clayton Van Tassel.
Van Tassel, his 3rd foul. Big free throws for Letourneau. He misses the first one.
And it wasn't so much on Van Tassel. It was so much on the entire defense, not getting the air ball rebound. And it was just sitting for him. No boxing out whatsoever happened.
Second shot, no good. Rebound made. And a foul called on Cartier, I believe. 42 seconds to go. We're tied at 56.
That is Cartier's 4th foul.
John Diener will go back the other way to shoot 2 free throws, a 1-and-1 rather. Diener's had an explosive second half, to say the least, Grant.
And he's 94% from the free throw line.
He makes that one. Bulldogs regain the lead, 57-56. John Diener, traditionally very cool under pressure. The gym coming dead silent. He goes 2 for 2. Bulldogs lead 58-56 with 41 seconds to play. Franken to the near side finds Poker. Timeout called by the Spartans. A 30-second timeout will stay here. Let's take a look at these numbers here for John Diener. 6 in the first half. Then you break it down to how he's done here in the second half. If I'm counting correctly, Grant, which happens from time to time, he's done exceptionally well. If I'm counting correctly, I'm going to count on the air because I can't count and talk at the same time, apparently. He's got 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 18.
Yeah, that's what I have.
In the second half.
It's ridiculous.
It was 6 in the first.
It was the Jordan Johnson show in the first half. Now it's the John Diener show in the second half.
That's absolutely incredible. Jake Graf over on the Graf, pardon me, for the Spartans. 8 big points in the second half. He's got 4 fouls.
But that key 3-point miss, I think it was the pressure because he's been keyed in all night shooting. He has 5 3-pointers on the night, but the biggest one that he's had to make was completely short. It was a complete air ball, didn't even touch the rim, and we haven't seen that kind of shot from him all night.
Spartans will inbound. They trail by 2 with 34 seconds to play. Inbound pass coming from Letourneau. He comes right in front of his bench to Poker. Poker resets at the top of the key. Guarded by Johnson, finds Graf on the far left elbow. Graf steps in, pulls it back. Now comes over to Poker. Ball almost stripped away. Ball free on the court. Diener gets it loose. Ball. Possession arrow is going to favor the Bulldogs. Diener, a crucial battle for the ball on the court. He's fired up. Jump ball. Bulldogs get possession. Tom Diener wants a timeout for the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs would have gotten possession either way, but Tom Diener wants a timeout. He's fired up right now.
Yeah, and so are some of the Spartans fans. They were thinking there should have been a foul on John Diener because it looked like he did fall into one of the Brookfield East players. So it's kind of one on those jump balls. It's kind of hard to tell because there is a lot of contact because there's multiple players holding on to the ball. So it's kind of a hard call to make on the court. So, got to go with best of what you see.
And one of the situations happen so often in games where it's just kind of like that bang-bang opportunity where it's like you've got the ball is loose, players are on the court reaching for it, and sometimes you don't ever really know what's going on.
And the game is so close, a foul could really change it, so any little contact, anybody thinks that there should be a foul, so it's tough.
58-56 with 17.7 seconds left. Cedarburg, arguably one of their toughest tests they've faced all season, apart from their 57-54 loss to Wausau West last week. Bulldogs will inbound. They find Diener. Diener's got it, and a foul called as Michael Poker gets his second foul with a hack on Diener. Diener's going to go to the line to shoot. I believe it's a still 1-and-1 situation, or shooting 2 at this point.
Yes, there are 10 team fouls on Brookfield East, so it's 2.
These points are crucial for the Bulldogs. They have an opportunity to take a 3 or 4 point lead. It's a 3-point lead so far. Diener makes the first one. Nobody's going home early tonight. Diener's second one is good. 4-point lead for the Bulldogs, 60-56. Clock running at 13 seconds. Here comes Groff. Gets it out wide. 3-pointer shot off the rim. No good. Rebound made. Still free. Basket laid up and in from Letourneau. And a foul called as Johnson gets the ball with 0.5 seconds. Fourth foul on Letourneau. That ball was played in quickly to Johnson. Now they're debating on the clock. Refs are going to chat it out. Brookfield East thinks there's 2 seconds on the clock, while the Bulldogs are very content with 0.5 seconds to play, and the free throws coming their way. This is crucial at times late in the game. You want to make sure you get the calls right, of course. They are going to leave it. They're going to leave it at 0.5 seconds.
Yeah, that's going to be really hard to overcome.
Johnson is going to shoot 2. And then you almost want Johnson to make these if you're Brookfield. Johnson makes the first one, because if that ball falls on the second one and misses, they got to heave and pray.
Well, if he makes it on the second one, it's a 4-point game.
It is. It's good. Johnson, under the pressure, nails it. And there's your final score. The Bulldogs, they hold on to an absolutely crazy game, 62-58. Unbelievable. We will take a quick break because we need to breathe, because this last 5 minutes of the game have been crazy. We will be back with your final stats and analysis. You're listening to Cedarburg High School Athletics live on Spreaker.com. Welcome back to Cedarburg High School. A victory for the Bulldogs as they fight down to the very last seconds to defeat the Brookfield East Spartans by a score of 62-58. We welcome you back inside the broadcast booth. I'm Baxter Colburn.
And I'm Grant Coppersmith.
Grant Coppersmith, your instant analysis of tonight's ballgame.
Well, what a game.
Right?
What a game. We didn't think coming into it would maybe be this close. I mean, it was tied at halftime, but with the way Cedarburg came out, and especially John Diener came out at the second half, you're like, no way the Spartans are going to come back being down 10 at one point. And it was just a great game for them because they're coming into this game 3-4. Maybe people are already counting them out, that they're not very good this season, but they played a fantastic game. Maybe if you're Cedarburg, though, that's something for you to be concerned about, as your last game against Wausau East, or Wausau West. I went to Wausau East, so that's why I said that. So excuse me. Wausau West, that was your first loss on the season, and now coming against a 3-4 team and only winning by 4 points, that could be a concern to you. But some keys of the game: Jordan Johnson, first half, total putting up 21 points tonight, but most of those coming in the first half. And then John Diener, total of 26 points, most of those coming in the second half.
20 in the second half.
20 in the second half. Now, maybe it was something happened like Brookfield. He said, okay, we really have to come out and focus on John Diener, and then Jordan Johnson went off, and they're like, okay, we really have to watch Johnson, and then John Diener went off. So I don't know, but John Diener didn't really look that keyed in. He was really quiet in the first half, but yes, he put 20 points in the second half, but I think arguably the bigger points were those clutch free throws at the end of the game. He had 4 of them that really put it away for the Bulldogs, and it was high pressure. There was noise coming from the Brookfield East fans trying to throw him off. He didn't blink. He made all 4 three throws at the end of the game that he really did need to make.
You want to talk about clutch players, Jordan Johnson, John Diener, they have that, as they say, ice in the veins. It runs deep when it comes to clutch situations at the end of the game. You mentioned those 4 free throws from Diener, 2 from Jordan Johnson, even to really close the game out. This is a team that has a real opportunity to push for a state title this year. They really do. They've got the pieces, they've got the tenacity, the fight, and most importantly, they've got the guys that can average 20-plus points a game, and Johnson and Diener both exceeding their traditional points per game average tonight.
And even though he didn't show up on the score sheet a lot with a total of only 5 points, Jared Short came out today and had a pretty spectacular performance. He was getting in there defensively a lot, making very hard plays. He finished with 4 fouls, just to show how tough he did play. We called his name out a lot. He did a really good job passing the ball offensively, even though he wasn't the one to score a lot. Now, on the other side of the ball, you have to talk about Jake Groff.
You absolutely have to.
He had a huge first half, was silenced a little bit at the beginning of the second half, but then he came out and had 8 big points that really seemed, and 2 of them were 3-pointers, that really seemed to bring the Spartans back into this game. And then I did mention it before during the game that he did have that one big miss that they were tied at that point, and having a make really could have changed the tempo of the game.
Well, at the final buzzer tonight, your Bulldogs, they improved to 8-1 overall, a 62-58, very well-earned victory tonight over the Brookfield East Spartans. We thank you so much for listening to this broadcast on Spreaker.com. You can hear more Cedarburg High School athletics throughout the rest of the season. We'll have some hockey coming up for you in the coming weeks, and some girls basketball, and of course your boys basketball team as well. For Grant Coppersmith and all of us here at Cedarburg High School, thank you so much for listening. Until next time, have a great evening, everyone.